Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Augusta, Illinois and Southeastern High School as we are here once again for Southeastern Lady Sons Volleyball JV action getting ready to come your way. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Jenny's on the camera. It is the Unity Mustangs, Minden Unity, in the house tonight for what is anticipated to be a pretty solid varsity matchup. Two of the more locally storied programs on the volleyball courts set to do battle here this evening. The freshman match was won by Southeastern in 2. We'll see what the JV does here tonight. Number 18, Cassidy Maddox. Number 7, Caden Miller. Number 15 is not on my roster. I think it's Abby Bodorf. Number 34 is Addison Spilker. Number 19 is Emily Ray. Number 2, Jersey Nichols, The starters and the libero looks to be number 5, Allison Murphy, a sophomore. Starting for the Southeastern Suns, Riley Hart's going to serve things off to start things up. And we'll go through the rest of the lineup here in just a second. In on the drop-in shot for the Mustangs and a side out. Addison Inman checking in, number 0. Number 16, Morgan Simmons. Riley Hart takes a seat. There's an ace for the Mustangs. Dropped in by number 2, Jersey Nichols. Also out there is Morgan Wilcox. Jalen Van Beck, number 9. Morgan Wilcox is number 18. Ella Tippy, number 7. And Wilcox, almost on cue, gets the kill. Her first. And a side out to the Suns, trailing 2-1. Putnam back to serve. She wears number 3. That's who I had not gotten to yet. That's Kylie Putnam. Wilcox, back corner, a kill for Morgan Wilcox, and we're tied at 2. Putnam gets the service point, her first. First point for the Suns, actually, from the service line. Putnam serve. Dug up in the back row by number 18, Maddox. Van Beck. Ella Tippy sends a free ball across. Maddox is there again. That's not Maddox, actually. It's number 19, Ray. Maddox is in the front row. Tipped across by Wilcox. A little campfire defense gets her third kill. And the second service point for Putnam. And some passing errors result in another point. Her third. It's 4-2 Southeastern after falling behind 2-0 early in set 1. We're still pretty early, though. Lots of time for both teams to make something happen here. That was service picked up by Miller. And there's an attack by Spilker, a hitting error. Spilker again on the attack. Dig by Tippy on the attack from Maddox. And then Tippy hits that one in the air, or into the net, excuse me. It's side out. It's 5-3. Maddox takes a seat. The libero, number 5, Allison Murphy, 5'6" sophomore, back to serve for the Mustangs. Hop in the live chat. Tell us where you're watching from and who you're cheering for. We do like to see that. And another Another kill for the Suns and a side out. Van Beck, the server. There's the attack and a kill. That is Addie Bodorf gets the kill. Now back to serve number 16, Trinity Cogdell. Van Beck's going to send a free ball across. It is 6-4. Tipped across by Spilker. Back out to Tippy. Cross court. Dug by Murphy. But it's going to fall at the net. Side out back to the Suns. Morgan Wilcox will go back to serve. Riley Hart will come back in the front row. Addison Inman will take a seat. Just talked to her grandma a few minutes ago. And out. Just barely out, but it was out. A point for Morgan Wilcox. 8-4 Suns here early, still in set one. Spilker sends a free ball across. Wilcox is there. Middle to Riley Hart. Dug up by Murphy. Bump set. Murphy's going to send it across. Wilcox comes to get it. A little fight over it from Putnam, but no harm, no foul as Tippy sends that one across. Now it's going to come back, and they're going to call 4 hits. Oh, they're going to call a lift. Should have been 4 hits. The attack by Bodorf. Actually, I don't think got touched, but they said it did. It ends up being a lift anyway. And a point for Wilcox. 5-point lead now for the Suns. Putnam's there. Wilcox. Tippy's going to send a free ball across. Off the net and down it falls. A kill for number 19, Emily Ray, her first of the match. And a much-needed side out for the Mustangs. Going back to serve now is Addison Spilker, 5'6", right side hitter, a sophomore. Tippy digs it out of the net but can't do anything with it. A point for the Mustangs. They trail by 3 now. Spilker goes back to serve again. Rotation check for the Suns. So trying to figure out who can be beside who on this serve receive here. And ace. All the communications got him a little discombobulated, I think. It's the second and third service points for the Mustangs. Spilker back to serve again. Riley Hart this time. Back to Hart it goes from Van Beck. Then an overpass goes to Hart. She drove it right back. Now it's going to be a free ball sent across. Simmons is there. Van Beck tips it across. Out it comes to Bodorf, and off the block and down it falls for a kill, and it's a 1-point game. Bodorf gets her second kill. Third straight service point for Spilker. 9-8. Nicole Arthur in the live chat. Good to see you in there, Nicole. Thanks for joining us. Out to Hart again, and they dig it up. Can they get it across? They will. Simmons is there. Van Beck. Back row attack from Wilcox. Dug in the back row. Hart off the ceiling. Oh, good job by Murphy to get there. It goes to the net, and it will be a side out for the Suns. I want to thank Multi Apples for hopping into live chat. Ella Tippy at the service line now. It's going to be hit across by Ray. A free ball sent back across by Simmons on an overpass. Van Beck. Hart's going to hit the second tip. Second touch, I should say. And it's going to go middle to Ray again. And she hits it deep right corner and down. Emily Ray gets her second kill. And a side out, and going back to serve will be Addie Bodorf. We've made it through a rotation, I do believe now. Or one service away from it, actually. This will be the last one of this rotation. Hit and in. That was Maddox there. Cassidy Maddox getting the kill, and we're tied at 10. Riley Hart, Van Beck, back row Wilcox, and Riley Hart got a little miscommunicated there, and it's going to be a hitting error. And Unity back in the lead, 11-10. And a service there ties it at 11, so we won't hear much out of Jason Arthur tonight since he's teaching and working, huh, Nicole? That's probably your best nights at home when he's teaching and working, isn't it? Just kidding, Jason. I'm sure you go back and watch it. There's an ace for Morgan Simmons. I couldn't resist, though, Nicole. It was just popped in my head. Sometimes I need to think before I talk. Simmons serves it up again with her team up by 1. That's going to be an overpass. Riley Hart, dug by Murphy. Van Beck, Wilcox, Putnam. There's an attack by Ray. Dug up. It's an overpass. Murphy's there. There's a set that ended up being an overpass. I do not believe that was meant to be the case, but it worked nonetheless. And going back to serve will be Emily Ray. We're tied at 12. And a service there makes it 13-12. Well, Nicole, you didn't tell me I was wrong. You just gave me a bunch of crying, laughing faces, so that would tell me I'm not too far from the truth. Riley Hart back to serve. We start our second rotation. There's trouble on the serve receive. It's going to be an ace. 14-12 the score. Riley Hart gets her first point and her first ace, obviously, since it's her first point. Drops that one in. Murphy's there. On the attack and down, Maddox gets the kill. Jersey Nichols going back to serve now. She gave her team a 2-0 lead on her first service. Wilcox gets the kill in front of a diving Murphy. 15-13. Wilcox gets her 5th kill. Putnam back to serve again. She served 4 straight points in her first service. Outside, Spilker hits it deep. Addison Inman was trying to get it. Putnam kind of got her head in the way, and Inman flinched just a smidge, and that was enough to keep her from getting to the cross. Going back to serve will be Allison Murphy, the libero for the Mustangs, with her team trailing by 1, 15-14. Simmons on the serve receive. Van Beck, Wilcox, deep left corner, out of bounds. Tied at 15. And a hitting error. Out of bounds. Side out to the Suns. Van Beck going back to serve. There's a nice hit by Bodorf, but it's going to be dug up, pushed across. Bilker sends it across, tipped back down by Tippy. Now Wilcox on a nice bump set from Van Beck. And more miscommunications. It's 17-15. Van Beck gets the service point. Her first. And a block by Wilcox. Side out, or a point again for Van Beck. A block for Wilcox is her first. Timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. We'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Right after this.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available. So with the addition of nurse practitioners lately, we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like their needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
And welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. There's an attack into the nets for Caden Miller. Another point for Van Beck. 19-15. Van Beck's got 3 in a row. Bodorf, Putnam. Van Beck's going to tip it across. Coming up to get it. Well, the Mustangs. It's sent across by Miller. Bodorf, nice attack and a kill to end the string of points for the Suns. That's third kill, excuse me, for Addie Bodorf. Going back to serve is Trinity Cogdell, the 5'3" sophomore outside hitter. Her team trailing by 3 at 19-16. Putnam there on a serve receive. Van Beck. Wilcox going to send it across. Murphy's there. There's the set by Nichols, the attack by Bodorf. Now it's going to be Ella Tippy on the attack, and it's out of bounds, no touch. I thought there might have been a touch, but Bodorf gets her third service point. And that would have been out of bounds probably, but Putnam touched it. It's an ace. First ace for Bodorf. And it's a side out back to the Suns, 20-18. Four hits. Wilcox gets the service point. It's 21-18. And another timeout charge to the Suns. This match being brought to you by Adams Experts. Looking for top-notch local computer sales and repair services? Call Adams Experts in Quincy at 217-214-3423 for fast, friendly, and affordable assistance. We make technology work. That's Adams Experts, your go-to when your computer goes down. And Ron Elby Auto Sales, with locations in Macomb and Augusta. With 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.lbsalescars.com to check out their inventory. And an ace for Wilcox. (22-18). As the scoreboard isn't keeping up. Some nights it works really well. Other nights it just doesn't work at all. There's a nice block. It's dug up. Second a touch. Going to be hit across. Van Beck out to Tippy. Deep. It's dug up in the back row. That was Cogdell back there. Not a free ball by Murphy. Middle, it goes to Hart. Hart off the block. Dug by Murphy again. Nichols sets to Spilker. Spilker comes down the line. Wilcox is there. An overpass almost. It's tipped across. It's dug up by Murphy. What a job! But it can't get it across. Man, what a job by Murphy to get a one-arm dig out there and nearly get that to go. Give her some props for that. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. And more problems in passing. Ray sends it across. Van Beck out to Tippy, who hits it into the net. A side out. So they fight out the first of 6 set points. Spilker going back to serve. She served 3 straight in her last service. It's 24-19. Hart is there. Out to Tippy. Off the block. Dug up. Nichols. Baldorf sends it across. Bump set to Tippy. She pushes it across. It's dug up. Nichols. That's an overpass. Van Beck. Second touch by Hart is hit across. Murphy. Nichols back to Baldorf. Dug by Wilcox. Bump set to Tippy. Deep and out. A hitting error on a long rally. And Spilker gets her 4th service point. Hart. Wilcox hits that one out from the back row. It's 24-21. They've fought off 3 in a row. Halfway there. Putnam. Van Beck. Simmons into the net. Three straight for Spilker again, and it's 24-22 here in set number 1. They have fought off 4 set points. They have to fight off 2 more. So it's 24-22. The Suns lead. It's been 4 straight points for Unity to try to stop the set 1 loss. They fought off 4 set points. They've got 2 more to do. Spilker stops back to serve again. That was a timeout by the Suns. They have 1 left. There's a tip across. Murphy's there. And it's going to be a passing error. And the Suns will get the 25-22 win in set number 1. So 25-22, a set 1 win for the Suns. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a couple minutes on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
I like to make time for my patients. I don't ever want anyone to feel rushed. I'm happy to sit and talk for as long as they need. And sometimes that puts me behind in my schedule, but I think it's worth it. People know if they need me that I'll be there.
It was the community that really...
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We're now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
And welcome back to Southeastern High School as we are ready to go with set number 2. 25-22, as you can see, is the set 1 score. So we'll clear that off. The Suns got the win, and we'll get ready to go with set number 2 here. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by McDonough District Hospital. Mustang's going to start off on the serve this time. And back to serve is the setter, Jersey Nichols. Nice serve, but it goes into the net. I thought it was going to go over for just a second. It did not. Just like set number 1 in her first service, she served 1 service point to start the match. However, she didn't serve or didn't get another service point in that serve or her second service. And I jinxed her because she just served that one into the net. So it's tied at 1. Kylie Putnam back to serve now. She served 4 straight in her first service last match or last set, and then didn't serve any in her second. So we'll see what happens here. That one's short, and it's going to be an ace. I think that she might claim she did that on purpose, but it sounded like she might have missed that a little bit, but it worked to her advantage. There's a nice dig by Miller. It comes across, out to Tippy, off the net, and it drops in, and that's just bad luck. She took a huge swing, but it hit the net. Ella Tippy is going to get her first kill. 6 point for Kylie Putnam. It's 3-1. Ray took it. Now it's going to be Spilker, and she's going to hit it out of bounds. Putnam with another service point. It's 4-1. The scoreboard got a little crazy there. I apologize. Spilker. Putnam came down to get it. Wilcox touched. Tipped across by Van Beck. It's going to be Spilker sending a free ball across. Wilcox. Tippy. Murphy. Maddox tracks it down. Free ball sent across by Miller. Wilcox going to punch it across. Murphy's there again. And Miller couldn't get to that one, and it's another point for the Suns. Putnam, her 8th point. I mean, she served 4 in her first serve in set 1 and 4 in set 2. See if she can get 5 here. Nichols, back to Ray. Going to call a lift. And a timeout's called by the Mustangs. 9 service points for Kylie Putnam. And the Suns have opened up a 6-1 lead here in set number 2. This match being brought to you in part by Western Illinois University. At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in because purple stands out. At WIU, there's limitless potential with campuses in Macomb, Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get a education that stands out. And Pond Plus. Pond Plus is proud to have served Macomb and the surrounding area for over 20 years, providing cash for most items of value. Pond Plus is the area's largest seller of used items, including firearms. They also provide on-site jewelry repair and are open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. They have great selection of jewelry, electronics, tools, and video games located at 324 West Jackson Street in Macomb between Erico and Taco Bell. Putnam serves it up again. She has served 5 this time in a row, so she bettered her first set performance. And Wilcox gets a tip kill. 7-1. That's a 6 kill for Wilcox. 10 service points. Spilker leaves. Checking in is number 7. Was it 17? Can't see the number. I'll have to look. She never really turned around for me. Nope, it's number 13, and there's an ace for Putnam. 13 is Allie Carolyn. And now another substitution. Miller leaves. Checking in is number 8, Olivia Carter. She's a freshman, 5'6" outside hitter. They're going to serve right at her. Nice pass. Nichols to. Oh, there's a one-arm dig. It's going to come across. It's going to go back. Simmons is there again. Inman. Free ball by Wilcox. It's bumped up. Maddox is going to get the kill. And finally end the string. Cassidy Maddox gets her 3rd kill, and it is 8-2. Murphy back to serve. Man, that took a nasty spin on Inman, but she somehow got to it right at the last second. That thing just turned right, but she went down to get it. There's a back row attack pretty much. It was a front row player, but she was way deep, and then a passing there goes into the net. Side out to the Suns. That was number 13, Allie Carolyn, who hit that from the out past the 10-foot line deep, but she was a front row player. Bodorf, now it's going to be Carolyn again. Van Beck, Wilcox throws it across and gets it to go down. They don't call in the net or anything, and it's a kill for Wilcox, her 7th. Van Beck gets the service point. It's her 4th. 10-2, Suns. Bodorf, a little struggle. Nichols went to get it. They are going to get the free ball across. Wilcox is there. Back to Wilcox it goes. On the attack this time. Dug up in the back row by Ray. There's an attack by Bodorf from the middle now. She has moved to the middle from the left with the substitutions that they've put in. There's 4 hits. So they've, with the rotation that they have now because of the substitutions, as Van Beck gets her 5th service point, they now have Carter on the left. Bodorf is going to hit from the left on the serve receive. Van Beck sends it across. Carter punched it across. Now it's Wilcox right at Nichols, and it's going to be a kill for Wilcox, her 8th. 6 point for Van Beck. And playing right side now, number 13 is Allie Carolyn. So it's Carolyn on the right. Bodorf is in the middle after serve receive. And Carter will go to the left side. Tippy gets the kill in between the block of Carolyn and Bodorf. Tippy gets her 2nd kill. 13-2. Serve receive has suddenly become a struggle for Unity here. End of the game now is number 10, Zara Dolman. Middle to Wilcox, and she hits it into the net for a side out. Back row attack by Simmons, who kind of just half-heartedly punched it. And there's a kill for number 13, Allie Carolyn. As they start to try to come back a little bit here. Serving back there is number 16, Trinity Cogdell. She's coming to the game to serve. Bodorf is back to the left now. That's tipped across and out of bounds as Ray has come to the front row to play middle. Side out to the Suns. Riley Hart back in. Inman leaves. Back to serve will be Morgan Wilcox. So Maddox is back in serve receive, it looks like. Bodorf is playing middle on serve receive. She went to get that. Putnam took it. Now it's going to be Tippy. Tippy's going to tip it across. It's punched up. Free ball is going to come across, and it'll be a point and side out. 14-5. Had soccer on tonight for the first time from Macomb as they played Beardstown. Caden Strins, Joey Yelenick, and Dylan up on the camera. The other two were on the play-by-play in color. Boom, a big hit for Tippy, and then it went straight up to the ceiling off the arms of Cogdell. A side out, it's 15-5. Ella Tippy is going to come back to serve. Murphy pushed that one across. Van Beck to Hart. Blocked up, dug up. An overpass. Van Beck. Hart again on his second attack. Pushed across by Bodorf. Putnam on the attack. Dug in the back row by Cogdell, or Carolyn, excuse me. No, it was Cogdell. I was right the first time. There's a hitting error. And a point for the Suns and Ella Tippy. Timeout on the floor. Second and final timeout for the Mustangs. We'll take a break as well. We'll be back in about 15 seconds. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
You get the opportunity to see so many different things that if you worked at a bigger hospital, you may not be able to see. You know, work is not just about the job, it's also about the people that work alongside you. And we have the best teamwork. They're like a second family. Sometimes you can't get that feeling other places.
And welcome back to Augusta, Illinois, Southeastern High School. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. 16-5 is the score. Suns won set one, 25-22. The Unity Mustangs fought off 4 set points. They were down 24-18 before a side out, and then 3 straight service points. But that's when we pushed across by Ray. Alas, they could not get all the way back. Putnam on the attack. It's off the block, off the touch. And Murphy again giving her team a chance, but it doesn't work out. But she has been all over the place, not giving up on anything for the Mustangs over on the far side. They've struggled in set 2, but she has not quit one iota of a bit. I give her props for that. There's more passing problems. Substitutions return. This is going to be Cogdell leaving. Checking back in is going to be number 7, Caden Miller. Murphy went to get it to the net. An ace. Tippy's got 4 straight now. 19-5. Nichols tracks down the pass to the net. A jousting session blocked by Hart. Actually, Riley Hart gets the block. And Tippy gets another point. That's her 5th. Checking in for Simmons is number 19. That is Sarah Shelton. And there's another passing problem. And another point. So the camera almost got it that time. Tippy up to 6 points now. And a sub coming in. And to serve and replacing Tippy is number 8. That is Sophia Campbell. With the Suns up 21-5. Campbell, nice serve. Over, well, to the net. It's going to be 4 hits. 5 hits before they finally blew the whistle. 23. Sophia Campbell gets her first service point. Now another replacement coming in. Maybe that's Aubrey Houston. It is. Aubrey Houston coming in to play front row. Putnam takes a seat. Coming off the side of the hand, but they're going to dig it up. They're going to push it across. Campbell, what a job to go get that off the bench. Trying to fight for some playing time here. Murphy's going to send that one across. Also in the game, number 5, Jaden Miller. That's tipped across. Now to the net. Blocked up in the air. Houston comes to get it. Out to Houston it goes. Dug by Spilker. Nichols, a bump set to Bodorf. Now it's going to be Houston again. And that's a bad. Oh, Nichols went to get it. What a job by Jersey Nichols. Now it's going to be hard, and she hits it into the nets. And a side out. Jersey Nichols literally had her toes within inches of the bleachers over there when she went to get that. Kept it alive, and they get the side out. Down 22-6. Again, I hit an extra button there. I apologize. And there's an overpass. And Jaden Miller gets the unorthodox kill, and it's 23-6 now. Check the rotation to see who should be serving. Going back to serve is going to be number 19. That's Sarah Shelton. An overpass. Van Beck goes out to Houston. Spilker. Nichols. Hit across there by Maddox. Middle it goes to Hart. Hart's going to get, what a job to get down and touch that by Ray and get it up in the air. Shelton can't control it, and it's a side out. Ray's going to get the kill. Emily Ray gets her third kill. 23-7 the score now. That went across the net, and Houston just was not ready for it to come across the net. Ray's going to get the service point. It's her first. 23-8. Nice low serve. Shelton goes down to get it. She sends the free ball across. Murphy's there. Houston, middle. Miller on the attack and the kill. Kaden Miller gets the kill. Another point for Ray. Miller gets her first kill. And trouble on serve receive again. 23-10. An ace for Emily Ray. Time coming down to get it was Jaden Miller. Shelton on the serve receive, on the hit. Houston on the attack. Ray was back there. Maddox. It's going to be pushed across by Shelton on the overpass, and trouble. And a side out for the Suns. Riley Hart coming back to serve for match point now. 14 match points. Back in the game is Zara Dolman for the Mustangs. Maddox on the attack. It hits the net. Shelton goes down to get it. Over it goes to Jaden Miller. It's dug up. Now it's going to come to Maddox. That time hits it in the net, and it is set and match point. 25-22, 25-10. Southeastern gets the two-set win. Jersey Nichols had 2 service points for the Mustangs. Caden Miller had 1 kill. 1 kill for Allie Carolyn. 1 service point for Trinity Cogdell. 3 kills for Cassidy Maddox. 3 service points including an ace and 3 kills for Emily Ray. 6 service points including an ace for Addison Spilker. 4 service points including an ace and 3 kills for Addie Bodorf. For Southeastern. 11 service points, including 2 aces for Kylie Putnam. Riley Hart had a service point, which was an ace and 1 block. Jaden Miller had a kill. Ella Tippy had 6 service points, including 1 ace and 2 kills. Sophia Campbell had a service point. Morgan Simmons had a point, which was an ace. Morgan Wilcox had 6 service points, including an ace, 1 block, and 8 kills. And Jalen Van Beck unofficially 7 points for the Suns. Again, 25-22, 25-10. Suns will win the JV contest. They'll look for the sweep. The varsity match will be up in about 15 minutes. Follow that in the next stream. We'll be right back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH after this.